What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video I want to show you a new plugin called AMPlify. This comes from a collaboration from Ski Beats and 12-Bit Soul, and it's a drum and bass enhancement plugin that's meant to give your tracks a lo-fi, soulful, grit sound. So let's go over the controls, and of course I'll let you hear what it sounds like. Very easy to use plugin here. It's split up into 3 sections. You've got your transients, drive, and bit crush. With the transients, you've got attack and tighten. You can kind of look at it as release. If you have a kick drum that has some decay on it, you can kind of kill that with this tighten. And looking at drive, you got your harmonic distortion here. You can control the energy and the asymmetry of it. And bit crush, you can choose the bit depth. You've got tone, which here is going to give you more low end, and as you increase this, it's going to introduce more high frequencies into the signal, and your overall bit crush here. And you can turn on or bypass each one of these sections. Then on the right side, we have our preset section where you can save, load, or cycle through presets, and you have a input and output knob that will give you plus 6 dB on your input and output. All right, so let's check out how this sounds. Let's solo the drums that I have in this track, and we'll start there. All right, so I'm going to start by going through the controls on the transients. All right, move over to the drive. And the asymmetry. And lastly, the bit crush. All right, so I'm going to set this to something more usable here, and then we'll see how it sounds in this track. All right, I'm gonna leave the bit crush out because that's just not something I want for this track. All right, let's bring in Amplify in and out in this track. All right, and now I'm going to solo the drums and bring it in and out. All right, so that was Amplify on some drums. Let's check it out now on a sub bass. So this is a track that I produced with Marco Dane, and I've got Amplify on the sub bass here. and I've got it bypassed, and I'm going to play this in the track with the bypassed, and I'll play it with Amplify on, and then we'll solo it. We'll start with it bypassed. All right, let's bring in Amplify. All right, and now let's solo the bass, and we'll start with it. I'll play it through, and we'll start with it bypass, and then I'll bring in Amplify. All right, so there's Amplify on the sub bass there. So final thoughts on Amplify. It's a very easy to use plugin. I do wish that I could maybe reorder the processing here because the harmonic distortion can take away from the low end, and you really only need a little bit with it here. But of course you can go extreme for some different effects. But with the drive taking out some of the low end, I think if I was able to reorder this and maybe have the drive first and then the transient, I think that would help bring some of the punch back. And I also wish I had some high and low pass filters just to shape the sound a little more, and maybe even a low shelf as well to bring back just some of that low end that we lose from adding some of that saturation from the drive. Price tag on this is $24.99, so not bad at all. I have a link in the description if you want to check this out, pick it up, or learn more about it. And definitely go to the website. You can sign up to get a free sound pack, and you don't have to purchase Amplify in order to get the free sound pack. If you just go to the site and sign up, you put in your email address and phone number, and you'll get that free sound pack emailed to you. So definitely check that out. All right, if you like this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. All right, any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. I invite you to check out my podcast, the Faders Up Podcast, a podcast about pro audio and beyond. Season 3 is now underway, and in this season, we'll be doing a lot of topics requested by listeners. So if you have a topic you want to hear discussed on the podcast, email us, DM us, or join us in our Facebook group, Faders Up Podcast, and let us know. And if you haven't checked out the podcast yet, I have a link in the description that'll take you to the page.